Well, good evening, everyone. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. If not, I'll turn up the sound. But back with another NFL predictions video. I was wanting to make since the start of the season, but here we are now. And maybe in the future, I'll have my camera on, but I bought a new camera and I haven't installed it yet. So I'll wait till next week. It's Saturday night, so I did miss the Thursday night game. I'll try to put these out on Wednesdays starting out, but I want to do this week anyway because it's the last week with 16 games. Because there's going to be bye weeks every week now, so there'll only be 15 teams, and so I want to try this week first. And also, this was kind of done in a hurry, in a rush, so I'm hoping that the next few videos will not um, they will be structured better. And at the end, we're also going to look at some weather forecasts because that actually impacts the game. And maybe next time we will predict the score as well. I want to start predicting the score and the weather. I saw someone, Colin McCarthy. He's really famous. You might know him. Not to be confused with Mike McCarthy, right? The coach for the Cowboys, or Kevin McCarthy, who is the former Speaker of the House. So a lot of McCarthys. But now Colin McCarthy, he went to UC Davis, which is where I went. And yeah, he's looking at doing football scoring and doing research into see how weather impacts scoring. But anyway, let's get into it. Our predictions. So the first one is the Bengals and the Panthers, and I chose the Panthers because it's Andy Dalton's revenge game. I was looking into this. Andy Dalton is going to be the starter for the Panthers. I don't know about the Bengals. They're just kind of bad this year, I guess. They're 0-3 for the first time in probably a while, a few years, I think, when they were like 115 or whatever. Uh, yeah, and they got the first round draft pick, and I think they take Jamar Chase, Burrow. I don't remember, one of those two guys. And yeah, but the Panthers are rolling from last week, and I really rooting for Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton pulls it off. Saints and Falcons. Saints, uh, excuse me, have been insane the last 2 weeks. They've scored over 40 points. Sorry, the Saints actually lost last week against the Eagles by a field goal, and it was a bit of a messy game at the end. And they could be undefeated right now, but they're not. Kind of unlucky. But their first 2 games of the season, over 40 points, both games, and the Falcons have had a couple lucky breaks. Or should I say unlucky, really, against the Chiefs, and a lucky break against the Eagles. I don't think the Falcons are all right. I think they're a decent team, but I don't think they're better than the Saints. So I chose the Saints. Next up, we have the Broncos versus the Jets, and I took the Jets because um, because the Broncos are just bad. Uh, Bo Nix is getting better, but he's still no good. And the defense is the only thing going for the Broncos right now. Their offense is atrocious. And the Jets have a good offense and a good defense with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. They're a very well rounded team. I have them winning this week. And then we have the same. This game already happened. The Cowboys versus the Giants, and I put Cowboys because, well, first of all, the game already happened. Second of all, I probably would have picked the Cowboys anyway, just because historically that's the way the rivalry goes. The Giants usually win those matchups. I mean, sorry, the Cowboys do. Giants are frauds. All right, Vikings versus Packers. I think the Vikings are. I mean, they've had a crazy first 3 games. Uh, if Jordan Love is back, which it seems like he will be back, question mark. It's not guaranteed, but I feel like the Packers are a better overall team. Um, the Vikings have a lot of good pieces with Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones, but I don't feel confident. I don't know. Sam Darnold's balling out, but who knows how long that lasts. Green Bay's secondary has been looking pretty good recently, so we will see what happens. But I think the Vikings win streak comes to an end, and that the Packers pull this one out in Lambeau. So we'll also be looking at the weather forecasts too. The one on the right should be the home team. Then we have the Jaguars versus the Texans, which this is going to be a sloppy divisional game as usual. I think the Texans win. They got um, what was it? Destroyed just the other week, didn't they? By the Vikings, I think it was. I can't remember. I think it was the Vikings, but they didn't look good at all. But neither did the Jaguars. Both these teams are coming off bad weeks. If Joe Mixon comes back, which I was looking into that right before I made this prediction because it was not an easy one to make, I think that the Texans can win if Joe Mixon is back. So that's my forecast prediction, I should say. Sorry, too much weather. I keep thinking forecast. And Steelers versus Colts. I have the Steelers winning because why? Well, both these teams I don't think will be that good. I think the Steelers will still make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll really get anywhere in the playoffs. Just another Mike Tomlin winning record team that's not going to get anywhere in the playoffs, as we've been seeing for years and years. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen. The Colts, they haven't shown anything. Anthony Richardson is playing really poorly. Nothing from Pittman all season either. Their running back, Jonathan Taylor, is pretty decent, but not much. This team doesn't have much going for them. Very mid, I guess you would say, very mid team. The Steelers have a really good defense, and they showed it against the Chargers. And if they can beat the Chargers, I think they can beat the Colts. But this season's been very weird, so it could be wrong. And then we have the Rams versus the Bears. The Rams have a battered up wide receiver core. I think Cooper Cup's probably going to miss another week, it seems like. Puka's gone. So they're really going to have to rely heavily on Kyron Williams again. He kind of won them the game last week against the 49ers, that was an insane comeback, may I say. 49ers are certainly not the same team they were last year, but I still think the Rams are no good. After seeing them get slaughtered against the Cardinals, I it's I think I'm going with the Bears because the last couple games they didn't look terrible. They looked like a winnable team. They're not great. Their offense is shit. Their defense is great. Their offense is shit. So, uh, but I think they have a real shot. I think they can pull out a win this week. Um, so we have Eagles and Buccaneers. I think the Eagles are also a strange team this year. They barely lost to the Falcons, and then they barely won to the Saints, and they barely beat the Packers. So they've been out. Every game they've played is like they win by less than like 5 points, or win or lost by 5 points or less every game this season. So they're not very they're a very iffy team. But the Buccaneers have played incredibly well. I think they're undefeated. Are they? Are they not? I don't know. But they're really good. Baker Mayfield is balling right now. He is balling. Chris Godwin is God winning. Really, he is going God mode right now. Chris Godwin is so, and he's on my fantasy, so we love to see it. I'm going Buccaneers for another win here in Tampa, which just got battered by Hurricane Helene recently. Funny enough, kind of funny. Next up, we got Patriots and 49ers, and I have the 49ers pulling this out because after seeing the Patriots play against the Jets, I don't have any confidence in picking the Patriots like ever. The 49ers, rough loss last week, but in Santa Clara, I think they pulled this one out. I'm going 49ers. They still got a lot of injuries, but I don't think it's enough to lose to the Patriots. Now we have the Commanders versus the Cardinals. This one was another harder one to pick for me, but I went Cardinals because if you look at their losses, the Cardinals, they lost to the Lions and they lost to the Bills, who are both very good playoff caliber teams. And then you look at the Washington team, which, whatever. They they beat the winless Bengals barely. They won a game with only 7 field goals against the Giants. Couldn't score a single touchdown against the Giants. And I don't remember what the other game they won was, but it wasn't that impressive. Their wins weren't very impressive to me. And actually, those are the only 2 wins they have. They lost the other game, their first game of the season. I'm going Cardinals. I'm confident that they will come back and win this next game. I don't think the Commanders are frauds. All right, let's see. Chiefs versus Chargers. Now, historically, the Chiefs almost always win this matchup. Now, Chiefs struggle with the Chargers a little bit sometimes, but Chargers, I think they lost Bosa recently. I don't know. I think they have a few injuries though. Herbert, I think, is coming back. It looks like, but I don't see how they can beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are rolling this year. They've. I think it'll be a close game. A close game. It'll be close. Not an Arrowhead either. It's not an Arrowhead, so there's that. But I still think the Chiefs pull this one out. All right, here's our last batch of games. We have the Browns versus the Raiders. The Raiders just got embarrassed by the Panthers. That's not a good look at all. The Raiders have been embarrassing so far this year. So have the Browns. The Browns have not been good at all this year. And Deshaun Watson is crap. I'm still going with the Browns though. Hopefully their defense plays better. I have them on their defense on fantasy, so I'm hoping the defense does well. Going Browns here. Let's see. Bills versus Ravens. This one, despite the Ravens' record being so much worse, I think the Ravens have a real shot against the Bills. I really do think so. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens won this match, but and kick and end the Bills winning streak. But I think the Bills, after last week, I see no reason not to pick the Bills after the way they performed the last couple of weeks. They're killing it on all cylinders. They're firing on all cylinders. No reason not to pick them this week. Titans versus Dolphins. Now, I was gonna pick Dolphins. I just saw Tyler Huntley is gonna be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins, which was interesting, you know. But I'm going Titans because there's too much variables going on in the Dolphins offense, and it seems that they don't really know what they're doing. The Titans suck too. This game's a coin flip to me, but I'm just choosing Titans. This is gonna be a dog show. It's gonna not be or shit show, I should say, not dog show. But it's gonna be a messy game. But we're going Titans here. Now we got Seahawks versus Lions. I'm going Lions. Seahawks to me shouldn't be 3-0. It's kind of weird. I forget they're 3-0. It's kind of wild. I don't think they deserve to be 3-0. I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. Don't think they deserve it. Lions are a much better team and they're not undefeated. But I'm going Lions. I think they are better. And that is it. Those are our predictions. Let me make sure I was recording all of that. Okay, that's good. So that's like 13 minutes. Now we look at the weather. Now, first up, we have the Panthers. Now, the Panthers might have interesting weather. They are located in Charlotte, if you don't know. Um, let's look at the weather in Charlotte. This is the National Weather Service because they have the best forecasts. Hopefully, in the future, I can make my own forecasts. That is the goal, but unfortunately, I don't have time right now to make my own forecast. So, remember, Helene is still around, so we're looking at like there's a chance of showers. We want to look at the hourly forecast, of course. So we click here. It looks like it's going to be pretty warm. Any winds. So the game is at 1 p.m. Temperature is about 78, 79 Fahrenheit. At kickoff, around 80 during most of the game. Wind is very weak. Humidity is pretty high. It's in the 70s. During most of the game, it's going to be in the 70s. And there might be some rain during the game, 0.13 inches. I think it'll be really humid. I don't think weather will be much of an impact on this game, though. Less than 10% chance of rain. So, and nice weather in Charlotte. So I don't think we will have bad. I don't think weather will be a big impact for them. Falcons is a dome, so we will not look at the weather in Atlanta. And it's funny because Atlanta just got battered by Helene as well. So that would certainly impact things. I hope everything is going well in Atlanta. I know they had a lot of floods. I'd have to look into that. New York. But they're actually in East Rutherford, so I don't know where that is. Let's see East Rutherford. So it's foggy right now. So it looks like it could rain, but let's look at the hourly forecast for East Rutherford, New Jersey. So wind is weak, well, 6-7 miles an hour during the game. So that's not much to be worried. Looks like it's going to rain, but probably before kickoff, maybe towards the start of kickoff. I'm not sure if that's going to mean anything for the turf, especially because of, they use turf there. So I don't know if this is going to impact, this could impact, rain before the game could impact traction for players, like if they might slip and slide like they did in Brazil. Who knows? But it'll be something to keep an eye on, but I don't think it'll be an issue. Wind, very humid, and temperatures are nice, 67 degrees. Looks like it'll be a fun football game. Good weather. All right, now let's look at. We're gonna ignore the Giants game because that one already happened, and it's also in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So we're gonna ignore that. Packers, Green Bay. So in Green Bay, now this is assuming I have entered them all correctly. Yes, I think I have at Miami. Yeah, it should all be in here correctly. Yes. Okay, good. Good. I'm just making sure I was putting in the right cities. I don't want to be getting the wrong home team. That would be kind of embarrassing. 75 degrees and becoming sunny in Green Bay. That's beautiful. I don't think you can ask for better weather than 75 and sunny. Yeah. Wow, 68. Sorry, kickoffs at 1 p.m. So or 12 p.m. It's about 70 degrees. That's beautiful. It's a little windy though. About 12 miles an hour, or no, even more than that. Well, yeah, 12 miles an hour, picking up to 13 right around halftime, maybe slightly after halftime. So, and it looks like the wind will be blowing um, to the from the northeast. So wind from the northeast will certainly be interesting to see how this northeastern wind will impact the game. And interesting here, if you look, the wind kind of changes directions at night. It goes from northeast to southwest, which is very strange. It kind of changes almost 180 degrees in tomorrow. I'm sorry, Monday. Very, very different. Humidity drops substantially, so it's not going to be too humid. Maybe about 65, 60%. Weather, pretty good, pretty good. This is actually really good. This is probably the best weather we've seen so far. That's good. You don't see that from Lambeau very often. You don't see good weather there. All right, now we're going to look at Houston. Houston, Texas. And Houston, we have, wow, it's going to be really hot in Houston. I don't know if they have a dome. I don't think they do. I don't think Houston has a dome. I'm going to have to look this up now because I don't even know. If they have a dome, we could totally disregard this. Is it a dome? Do. So it looks like the Texans play in a dome now, so they don't have to worry about it being 92 degrees, which I guess is good for them. I didn't know they played in a dome, but it seems like a lot of places play in a dome now. So this factor is certainly decreasing. Weather is not as big of a deal anymore in games because the fun one is Buffalo and Lambeau are two places that often They don't have domes, and they always have interesting weather. Now it looks like we might get some rain in Indianapolis. Oh yeah, so this game we will likely see some rain with some wind, about 10 miles an hour. So rain with some wind. I don't see. It's not really showing me gusts. There's no gusts reported, but it looks like there will be some rain and some wind in the Indianapolis game. So that'll be interesting to look out on. Colts versus Steelers. There's gonna be some rain, so it could be a lower scoring game. It's not gonna be heavy rain though. It's gonna be light rain, showers, as it says here, showers. But it could impact the score. Could be a lower scoring game. It helps the Steelers again, right? They rely on their defense, so I think that's good for the Steelers as well. Now let's look at Chicago. This is also an outdoor team, despite it being cold and having a lot of variable weather over there. Hazardous weather conditions until after the game. So a slight chance of showers. Looks like it's overcast right now. Some wind, very windy. There you go. They call it the Windy City for gusts up to 24 miles per hour during the game. So that is something that you want to seriously consider. And there also could be some pregame showers. Uh, see right here. So pregame showers as well as wind, a lot of wind. So it's gonna be windy in the Windy City. Something to keep an eye out. If you're kicking field goals, throwing the football even, could make it more difficult in Chicago. Certainly something you should look at. The wind could be harder to kick some field goals. And let's look at the direction. So the direction is going to stay the same for most of the game. It looks like north, east, about the same as the Packers game, northeast, which isn't that surprising because Green Bay is not too far from Chicago. So northeast, probably synoptically driven weather there, and Tampa. Tampa's an interesting one. I don't think they actually have a dome. It gets pretty hot there. Tampa. Okay. 90 degrees, scattered showers. Good thing they're not playing Monday, yeah, Monday Night Football. They'd have some thunderstorms, and that could be really bad. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So the heat index could get over 100 degrees during the game. Uh, oh, I gotta make sure that they don't. I'll make sure they don't play in a dome now. They don't play in a dome. They don't play in a dome. So a heat index of 102, 101. So very high heat index in tomorrow, 104 during the game. This game's at 10 a.m., I believe, even if it wasn't at 10 a.m. Look at the heat index. So that is something the players should be very careful of. This extremely high heat indexes looks like and rain. So yeah, 0.2 inches, right? Some rain here because the game's gonna start here. So rain in the first half looks like, and there's a chance of thunder. So there's a chance of thunder as well. So there could be a thunderstorm rolling during the game and really high heat index. So this one's probably the worst weather we've seen. Buccaneers game could be postponed. Um, if you are playing for the Buccaneers, stay hydrated. You need to stay hydrated. This game is going to be hot and humid. So look out, Buccaneers. You will need it. All right, let's see what we got now. We have 49ers. San Francisco's always got good weather. I'm gonna look at it because San Francisco is actually, if you don't know, in the middle of a heat wave. Now, a San Francisco heat wave, it's not going to be hot. 70, see? I kind of know, see, 85. Okay, Tuesday is when the heat really comes in. Look at that, 91 in San Francisco. 91 in San Francisco. I'm sorry, this isn't a weather video, but I just had to zoom in on that's just crazy. Crazy weather. So no impact really there. It's a good thing there's no Tuesday football. Cardinals. Now that's a dome. There's no way. You can't play in Glendale without a dome unless you want your players to die. Los Angeles. That's like the same weather as San Francisco, but we'll look at it. Los Angeles is also about to enter a heat wave, but I don't think it's going to happen until later. Yeah, Sunday, we got those Maurice cumulus hanging around and a high of 81. So, yeah, no, nothing too abnormal. I live in California, so I'm used to knowing what the weather's like here. Vegas, that's a dome, so we're skipping that one. A lot of domes in here, so that makes my life easier. Baltimore, I've been getting a lot of weather alerts about Baltimore. I'd like to see what we have here. Scattered showers and patchy fog. So it might be raining in Baltimore. Nice weather though, 75 degrees. Yeah, but look at this, 72. We also got dew points that are pretty close to the actual temperature, so it would not surprise me if you saw some precipitation here. Winds peaking, gusts up to 18 here. Um, so you might get up to 10 knots here, or sorry, 10 miles an hour, not knots, during the game. So some wind, but not too bad. Not like the Bears game, which had almost 25-mile-an-hour gusts. And relative humidity, yeah, around 80%. Um, yeah, yeah. So certainly at least some showers during the game. So keep an eye out for some showers in Baltimore. So look at showers in Baltimore, thunderstorms and heat index, high heat index in Tampa, and high wind in Chicago. And I don't know if there's another city that had rain chance. I can't remember. It was Indianapolis. Indianapolis also had some rain chances, so that'll be something to look out for. Miami. Miami and then Detroit. I think Detroit is actually in the dome. I think Detroit's in the dome. Let me double check Detroit. Yeah, so Ford Field is is a dome, as I figured. So Ford Field is a dome, so we can skip that. And I don't think Miami's is a dome. I don't know the name of their Hard Rock Stadium. Sorry, guys. So Hard Rock is not a dome, but it looks like they have one that they can open and close, kind of like the Toronto Blue Jays that we looked at. So yeah, I think they have something like that. They open and close the dome, and 89. Yeah, they might end up closing the dome. Yeah, we got the same heat indexes as Tampa, so if they play in 102-degree heat index, we'll see. But it's about the same weather as Tampa, so there you go. But there's no chance of thunder until the next day, so they don't have a risk of thunderstorms until Monday, unlike Tampa, which has them Sunday and Monday. Certainly something you want to keep an eye out though on Monday if you live in Miami. But I don't think they'll play through the heat index. But if they do, something you should keep an eye out, just like for Tampa. So there you go. There's the weather. We'll see how that impacts the games, but I don't think it really impacts my forecasts, my predictions. Really, I don't think so. So yeah, here it is. One last look at it. My predictions: Panthers, Saints, Jets, Cowboys, which already happened. Um, hello, Packers, Texans, Steelers, Bears, and then Buccaneers, 49ers, Cardinals, Chiefs, and then finally we have the Browns, Bills, Titans, and Lions. And that is it for this week. Hopefully, the next few weeks will be better. Um, now, historically, I'd usually go about 10-6 with my predictions. That's historically, maybe 9-7 on a bad week, 11-5 on a good. So I think I can get 10-5 this week would be good. We'll see. But historically, I'm better than a coin flip. So that's my predictions. Hope you enjoyed and see you next time. Bye.